this is Takesha Tobin with BlackCelebKids.com. We're at the Right Look Studios this morning speaking with super mom, wife, philanthropist, Chanita Foster. Come on in. Let's go. Well, thank you, Chanita, for sitting down with BlackCelebKids.com and allowing us to get into your world a little bit. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you. But for me, in the site, first time I ever seen you on Football Wives. And from there I could see like, oh, she has a lot of personality. But I wanted to know, how was it for your family to get, cameras around you at all times? Like, how did your family deal with that?
I think for me, I try to tell people when I did reality TV, I was pretty much one of the pioneers. When we were on television, it was only Flavor of Love, the Kardashians, and maybe one other show. So we were really kind of like the trailblazers when it comes to reality. And when they asked me to be me, I was me. Unlike today, where you say, okay, you're going to film something, you do your hair, we're sitting in the Right Look studio, so you put on makeup. But when I did reality television, they asked me to be me. So I don't go to the grocery store with makeup on. There was times when there was a couple scenes I had just got out of the shower, my hair was wet, my kid's nose was snotty. So it was a process. It was a learning process. I don't take anything back, but I think people really kind of got to see who I was through pieces. I know there's a lot of editing because you have to fit hours and hours of filming within, I think we were on for like 30 minutes, but for the most part, I was happy. And it was hard, and you really do forget the cameras were there. You really forget it. And my kids, they did really, really well. Even to this day when there's cameras around, they never look at a camera. They never pay attention. I think it's because when they see me, I'm the same me. So it's not like, oh, mommy's acting, or oh, you kind of acting a little different. Who I am is who I am. So even when there's a camera around, I'm still yelling and fussing. What are you doing? So to them, it's normal.
It's normal. So would you do it again? Would you go down that road?
I would do it again for the right situation. I've been approached numerous times for many of television shows, and I just always want to make sure at this point in my life that it lines up with me, with my family, because my children are older. When I did that show, I had infants in arms and little kids who didn't understand it. Although my children are homeschooled, I've had some internet issues with my daughter. She's 8, and what she thinks, and them having access to Google, and once it's out there, it's just stuck in the universe forever. So I'm not against television. I would do television again, hopefully in the capacity where it's showing something more positive. I know positive TV doesn't win, but hopefully something positive, and that would be a reflection of me, my brand, my family.
And speaking of brand and family, could you tell us a little bit about your foundation, Beyond the Game?
I am so in love. I'm actually getting ready to walk more so into my purpose. My purpose is really giving back and philanthropy, and moving to Atlanta, Georgia. I kind of veered from that because this is an entertainment industry. It's kind of like they say, like the Black Hollywood. So for me, I kind of got lost, but Beyond the Game is our 501c3. It's a not-for-profit. We feed 1,000 children a day, 2 meals a day in Swaziland, Africa. I built a school there. I have 3 care points. So it has been a journey. It's been a process. I always tell people, I cashed in my kids $529, so I hope we have some athletes, because I gave away all that college money. I don't know how my kids get into college. But I love it. I'm glad that I learned my purpose early on in life, which is giving back. I have 2 children that I adopted that I'm so in love with. I want to adopt more children, but walking in your purpose every day it's a great feeling.
So with your foundation and going down the road of philanthropy, are your children heavily involved in that as well?
My children, oh my God, they're natural givers. Like they understand. When my kids have a birthday party, they only get to keep 3 gifts. They keep 3 things. One of the other kids, everybody gets to pick something, and then the rest goes. They understand it. For Christmas, they only get 3 gifts. I'm like, they only took baby Jesus 3 things. Why y'all get more than 3 things? It's Jesus' birthday. It's not your birthday. I'm confused. So they have been raised on this foundation of giving and loving and caring for other people. And so sometimes I'm criticized about me picking up and leaving and going so much. But my children, I was speaking to someone, they said, how do you leave your children so much? I said, because I've trained them to say, mommy might leave, but she's always coming back. So even when I leave, they're like, my mommy coming back. And they know when it's time to pack for Africa, it's a family process. They want to give, they want to send things, they want to see the pictures. So Yeah.
That's nice. And when you said you trained them right. So what values have you instilled in your kids so that you can say, all right, I'm gonna go away and give myself to others? Like, what values have you instilled?
I've given them a lot of honesty. I think the world we live in, I shelter them a lot. Like my children think Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and Justin Bieber are like the only singers on this earth besides gospel music. Um, they don't listen to the radio. They don't get to watch much TV. I made the decision to homeschool after a couple instances in private schools, not even public schools. So the foundation that I'm raising them on is Christian based. It's to care about other people, to give, to overall be a nice person and always stand in who you are. Each one of my children are individuals, and I tap into that. And I think by me knowing my purpose, I truly honestly believe I know where a lot of my children will end up in life by watching them in their purpose. Like I have an animal lover. She loves animals, and so I tap into that. As much as I don't like animals, we have snakes and dogs and cats and chickens and ponies and horses, and for most parents it would be like, I don't want all those animals. But I know from the time that she came out the room and she started speaking, it was all about animals. So I honed in on that. That's who she is. I have one that's very more so into makeup, and she's been saying since she was 2, 3 years old, I'm gonna be a makeup artist. So why not bring her to the Right Look Studios, and why not have her around people like Tasha Wright that does makeup to bring them up in that. So I don't know, finding your child's purpose at a young age, when you see it and you know it, you tap into it. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want you to be a hairdresser, I want you to be a doctor. Or, oh, I don't want you to be a doctor, I want you to be a lawyer. And that actually happened. I know I'm long-winded, but my adopted daughter, when we went to take her to college, luckily I was in the room and she's filling out the paperwork, and I was like, oh, what are you going to major in? This fool said pre-med. I said, ma'am, can you please leave out the room for a second? I said, I'm confused. You suck at math and you're horrible at science. How are you going to be a doctor? I'm so confused. And my daughter said, pre-adoption, everybody that she was around used to say, oh, you're going to be a doctor. Oh, you're going to be a doctor. So mentally, not liking math, not liking science, not having any interest in being a doctor, it was said so much in her life, oh, you should be a doctor, that she thought she was supposed to be a doctor. Luckily, I'm her mother. So I said, no, what do you love? What is your passion? What do you like to do? And she's like, well, Mom, I like graphics and I like photography. I said, well, maybe you need to be a photographer. Maybe we need to shift. And at that moment, that's when we shifted her career path.
Is much happier with that decision.
She is in the Navy serving our country, but she is a photographer. She takes amazing pictures. Her eye is so amazing. I mean, we can eat dinner and she'll take a picture of a glass and it's no longer just a glass. It's just art, and that's who she is.
Well, I mean, that's very important when it comes to the kids and honing into what it is, because a lot of times as parents, you see, it's like, oh, okay, I want them to be a doctor. And you kind of push it on them, and, but that's how it goes, and I appreciate that that's what you do with your children a lot more. I believe a lot more parents should definitely tap into that. So as a parent myself and watching you and, seeing that you're a wife, you're a mother of 6 kids, you have the foundation, and you also handle someone else's foundation as well. Mm-hmm. For all the mothers watching or, soon to be mothers, how do you balance it all? Like what advice could you give to someone to say, okay, this is a good idea of how you can balance it all?
The book is coming. No, I keep saying I need to write a book. For me, I allow certain things to fall by the wayside. Like when I meet the parents of my daughter's cheerleading team and we talk and they're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. You have to kind of have a plan. You have to have structure. You have to use what works for you. If you come to my house is horrible. My house is the junkiest house. I tell people we are hood rich over here. Meaning I have a big old house with no maid. But for me, some people spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day and it's all about the laundry and how their house looks and cleaning. And to me, I was watching TV one day and this lady was like, whatever I can't do in 30 minutes won't be done. So I literally dedicate maybe 30 minutes of my morning, maybe an hour to just cleaning. And that's it. It's not my life. It's okay for my house to be messy. Like my children are still blessed and they're smart. As long as it's not nasty, it can be messy. So little things like that. You have to find what works for you. You have to find a good support system. I have an amazing team that helps me out every day. My son plays a major role. Shout out to Maj. He thinks he's so cool. Coming from Swaziland, Africa, you can't tell him anything. But my son plays a major role in being in my children's life. My mom moved here, and so my mom lives here. And then Deidre Ellington, she's my children's homeschool teacher. When they say it takes a village, it's a real village. And you have to find people. I know a lot of women, especially single moms, say, I don't have help or there's no one around. You have to spend that time getting to know people, meeting people at the park or at the gym or at a dance class who are in a similar situation that's willing to give of their time. And then you trade off. Like, hey, I need to do my grocery shopping. I need to go to Target. I need to go to the bank. Can you watch mine? And then I'll return the favor. So just finding a healthy balance.